Today, we will be discussing ethics for IT workers and users, and we will also look at the real-life case titled NYC Payroll Project Riddled with Fraud. So let me start with a quote shown in the presentation. "This above all to thine own self be true" by William Shakespeare. This quote reminds us that integrity begins with ourselves. In the field of information technology, being skilled is not enough. IT professionals must also act ethically and responsibly because their decisions affect organizations, governments, and even millions of people. So, ano nga ba ang IT ethics? Ito ay nagre-refers to the moral principles that guide IT workers and users. It includes honesty, fairness, accountability, and respect for privacy and security. IT professionals must act responsibly and avoid unethical actions such as fraud, bribery, and misuse of information. NYC Payroll Project Riddled with Fraud. Now let's look at a real-world example. The City Time Project was increased to relapse New York City's manual payroll system for over 100,000 employees. It started in 1998 with the goal of improving efficiency. However, instead of becoming a success story, it turned into major fraud scandal. Timeline of events. In 1998, the contract was awarded to MCI subsidiary. 2001, the contract was reassigned to SAIC without competitive bidding. In 2006 and 2009, costs increased dramatically from $224 million to $628 million due to a time and material contract switch. In 2010, the fraud scheme was exposed and consultants were charged. In 2011, an SAIC manager was arrested for receiving $5 million in kickbacks. In 2012, SAIC paid $500 million to avoid prosecution. This project, which was meant to modernize payroll operations, became one of the largest municipal fraud cases in U.S. history. What is a professional? Now let us understand what it means to be a professional. A professional requires specialized knowledge and intensive academic preparation. It is not just having a job. It is about having advanced expertise gained through prolonged study and training. According to professional standards, a professional employee is someone who has advanced knowledge gained from prolonged study, exercises consistent discretion and judgment, perform work that is predominantly intellectual and varied, produces work that is not standardized by time, meaning the value of their work is based on expertise, not just hours spent. Professionals also contribute to society, commit to prolonged learning, and often hold special rights and responsibilities. In short, being a professional means combining knowledge, skills, responsibility, and ethical behavior. Now, the question is, are IT workers professionals? Many IT roles such as software developers, system engineers, cybersecurity analysts, and network administrators clearly require advanced training, technical expertise, and independent judgment. Their work is intellectual, complex, and highly specialized. Because of IT workers share many characteristics of traditional professionals like doctors, lawyers, and engineers. However, there is an important distinction. Unlike doctors or lawyers, most IT workers are not legally licensed by the government. This means they are not officially regulated as licensed professionals in many countries. This affects legal accountability. In some cases, courts do not treat IT mistakes as malpractice in the same way they would for licensed professionals. Even so, the lack of formal licensing does not remove that ethically responsibility. IT professionals still manage sensitive data, financial system, healthcare records, and public infrastructure. Their work can impact millions of people. Therefore, IT workers must hold themselves to high professional and ethical standards, even without government licensing. Professional relationships for IT workers. IT workers do not work alone. They interact with several important groups, and each relationships carries ethical responsibilities. First, the employers. IT workers must provide responsible and transparent reporting. They should avoid conflicts of interest, protect company assets, and follow policies honestly. Second, the clients. They must communicate clearly and honestly about project timeliness, costs, risks, and limitations. Delivering what was promised without deception is essential. The third, the suppliers and vendors. IT professionals should practice fair procurement and avoid favoritisms, bribery, or unethical partnerships. Fourth, the society. Perhaps most importantly, IT workers have responsibility to protect the public interest. This includes safeguarding privacy, ensuring cybersecurity, preventing misuse of data, and designing systems that do not harm individuals or communities. Ethical conduct is required in all of these relationships. Honestly, integrity, fairness, and accountability must guide every decisions.
IT workers and employers carry ethical issues. The employer-employer relationship is multifaceted, covering job roles, responsibilities, and company policies. Its workers, stewards of IT resources, must uphold ethical use. We have two types of key ethical issues: software piracy and trade secrecy. Software piracy is an IT staff can be tempted to allow or engage in illegal software copying to cut costs, leading to severe penalties from organizations like BSA. Although end users often get the blame when it comes to using illegal copies for commercial software. Software piracy incorporate setting is sometimes directly traceable to IT staff members. Either they allow it to happen or they actively engage in it, often to reduce unrelated spending. While trade secrecy, protecting confidential company information, software design, or business plan is a crucial. Employees often sign confidentiality. Whistleblowing and visa. Whistleblowing employees exposing negligent, illegal, or unethical acts by a company that threaten public interest, often facing retaliation. Whistleblowers often have special information based on their expertise or position within the offending organization. H-1B visa. Cases like enforces illustrated firms illegally circumventing visa rules, leading to lawsuits on claims of worker exploitation that allows foreigners to come to the United States and work full-time, especially occupation that requires at least a 4-year bachelor degree in specific field. IT workers and client trust and transparency. In IT, workers provide services to clients, often with a technical expertise gap. Trust is essential for successful collaboration. So you have three types of successful collaboration. That's shared decision making, conflict of interest, and project reporting issues. Shared decision making is a client rely on IT workers' expertise for project decision, while IT workers need accurate information from the client. In conflict of interest, IT consultant recommending their own products can undermine objectivity, creating ethical dilemmas. While project reporting issues is a lack of transparency about project status can lead to crisis cost overruns and the accusation of fraud. Fraud and misrepresentation in client relation. Case like Paul Siglia, Facebook lawsuit and the serious misrepresentation claim highlight the serious legal ramification of these ethical breaches. Fraud obtaining goods services through deception requires false representation intent to deceive, reliance, and injury. To provide fraud in the court of law, prosecutor must demonstrate the wrongdoer made false representation of material fact intended to deceive the innocent party and justify relied on the misrepresentation. In misrepresentation, misstatement of incomplete statement of material fact potentiality leading to contract cancellation of damage. So cause that other party to enter into contract that party may have the illegal right to cancel the contract or seek reimbursement for damage. Breach of contract, failure to meet contract terms and material breaches can lead to contract rescission or lawsuit of damage. And it occurs when one party fails to meet the terms of contract. IT project can go wrong due to the cost overrun, schedule slippage, or lack of functionality. This often leads to charge of fraud, misrepresentation, or breach of contract. Most disputes settle out of court with outcomes concealed. Most IT projects are joint effort in which vendors and customers work together to develop a system.
Good day everyone, I'm Abat and here is my report. Common sense of IT problems. Scope changes. When the customer keeps changing keeps changing the system requirements after the project has started, it causes delays, confusion, and increased costs. The development team may need to redo complete work which affect the project schedule and budget. Poor communication. If the customer and IT vendor do not communicate clearly, misunderstanding can happen. The vendor may build a system that does not fully match what the customer expected, leading the dissatisfaction and complete competitive pressure. Sometimes the vendor complete the project according to the contract, but another company release a more advanced product. Even though the vendor fulfilled the agreement, the customer may feel the system is outdated or less competitive. Undisclosed legacy system. If the customer does not provide complete details about the old system or database, it can create unexpected technical difficulties. This makes implementation harder, slower, and more expensive. Next, IT worker and supplier build a strong relationship. Fair. Fair dealing. IT workers IT workers should treat suppliers honestly and respectfully. Making unreasonable demand or threatening the replace supplier unfairly can damage trust, and fair treatment builds long-term partnership and mutual respect. Open communication. Clear and open communication allows it workers and benefit from the supplier expertise. When both sides share ideas and information, it can lead to innovation, solution, and more cost-effective products and service. Next, by bribery versus gift, a fine line. Bribes. Made a secret. Bribes are usually hidden because they are illegal and unethical. If sometimes need to be kept secret, it's likely inappropriate. Often indirect through a third party. Bribes are sometimes given through someone else to avoid being directly connected to the act. Encourage obligation for favorable action. A bribe creates an expectation that receiver will give special treatment or make decisions that benefit the giver. Gift made openly. Gifts are given publicly as sign of respect, appreciation, or goodwill. Direct from donor and recipient. Gifts are given directly without hiding the identity of the giver. No expectation of the future favor. A true gift does not require anything in return and does not influence professional decision. Next, Foreign Corrupt Practice Act. Severe penalty has two has two types: corporate penalties and individual penalties. Corporate penalties, companies that violate the FCPA can be faced fines of up to $2 million per violation, while individual penalties can be fined up to $100,000 and face up to 5 years in prison for participating in bribery. Accounting standard. The FCPA requires companies to maintain honest and accurate accounting records. This prevents companies from hiding bribes through false or disguised payments, permitted payments. The law allows small payment for routine government action such as processing permits or visas. However, these payment these payments cannot be used to influence major decision or gain unfair advantage. Next, professional codes of ethics. Ethical decision making. A professional code of ethics provides a shared set of core values that guide practitioners when making difficult decisions. It helps ensure decisions are based on ethical principles rather than personal gain. High standard code of ethics remind professionals of their responsibilities and clearly define acceptable and unacceptable behavior. This promotes quality work and ethical conduct in the professions. Public trust. When professions follow a code of ethics, it builds trust and respect from the public. People feel more confident relying on professionals who follow recognized ethical standards. Evaluation benchmark. A code of ethics serves as a standard for self-evaluation and peer review. It helps professionals assess their behavior and allows organizations to recognize or discipline members when necessary. Next, Key IT Professional Organization, ACM or Association for Computing Machinery, founded in 1947. ACM is one of the largest international computing society in published journals, support research, and sponsored special interest groups. It helps IT professionals stay updated and follow ethical standards. Next is IEECS or Institute of Electrical and Electronical Engineering Computer Society. Founded in 1946, IEECS provides technical publication, conference, and professional certification. It supports computing professionals with standard development in computing education. AITP, or Association of Information Technologies Professionals. Founded in 1951, AITP promotes leadership, networking, seminars, and professionals development. It also provides a code of ethics to guide IT professionals. SANS Institute, or Sysadmin Audit Network Security. SANS focuses on information security, training, and certification. It provides cybersecurity education, research, resources, and monitor malicious online activity to help protect organization.
IT certification value. Certification shows that a professional has a specific skills or knowledge recognized by a certifying organization. Unlike licensing, which is legally required and applies only to individuals, certification is usually voluntary and can apply to both people and products. IT certification may or may not require following a code of ethics. Types of IT certification. Vendor certification. Many IT vendors like Cisco, Microsoft, IBM, SAP, and Oracle offer certification programs for users of their products. This certification can improve salary and career opportunities, especially for jobs with specific technical requirements. Though some are too narrowly focused to earn a certification, candidates usually pass a multiple choice exam, and some advanced ones also require hands-on lab tests. Preparation can take years and be costly due to expensive study materials and training courses. And we have industry association certification also exists across many IT fields, and their value depends on a person's experience, existing credentials, and job market demand. Government licensing for IT workers. Government licensing is official permission, usually issued by a state, to practice a profession or run a business, and often requires passing an exam. Some professions, such as doctors, lawyers, CPAs, and engineers, are required by law to be licensed. These licensing laws are created to protect public safety, and in many states, only licensed professionals may legally perform certain service or use specific professional titles. The IT professional. Navigating ethics and standards. An IT professional plays a vital role in today's digital world. Beyond technical skills, they must follow ethical standards to protect data, respect user privacy, and ensure system security. By acting responsibly and following professional guidelines, IT professionals help build trust, prevent misuse of technology, and create reliable systems that benefit individuals and organizations alike. Why license IT workers? Licensing IT workers help protect the public by ensuring that professionals meet minimum standards of knowledge, skill, and ethical responsibility. It promotes accountability, reduces risks related to system failures or data breaches, and build trust in IT services that people and organizations rely on. Challenges to IT worker licensing. Licensing IT workers faces challenges such as the fast pace of technology change, which makes standard quickly outdated, and the wide variety of IT roles that are hard to regulate under one license. It may also limit innovation, increase costs, and create barriers for new professionals entering the field.
Professional malpractice in IT. Defining negligence. Negligence happens when a person fails to act the way a reasonable and careful person would in the same situation. In IT, this could mean failing to properly secure data or not following standard procedures, which may cause harm. Duty of care. Duty of care is the responsibility to protect others from harm. IT professionals must ensure that systems are secure, reliable, and properly maintained to avoid causing damage to users or organizations. Reasonable professional standard. IT professionals are judged based on what a competent expert in the same field would reasonably do. For example, a licensed and experienced database administrator would be held to a higher standard than someone without formal qualifications or experience. Breach of duty and liability. Breach of duty. A breach of duty happens when a person fails to act the way a reasonable professional would. This can occur through wrongful actions or by failing to act when responsibility exists. Professional malpractice. Professional malpractice occurs when a professional's negligence causes harm or injury. If they fail to meet their duty of care, they can be held legally responsible for the damages. IT's unique position. Courts often reject IT malpractice cases because IT is not uniformly licensed profession. Without recognized standards, it is difficult to legally prove that an IT professional violated a professional standard. Without recognized standards, since there are no official licensing requirements for most IT roles, IT professionals are usually not subjected to malpractice lawsuits like doctors or lawyers. Ethical issues for IT users. Software piracy. Copying company software or downloading feed apps without permission. Inappropriate resource use. Using company devices for non-work activities or viewing offensive content. Inappropriate information sharing. Sharing private employee data or confidential company information without authorization. Supporting ethical IT practices. Guidelines for company software. Set clear rules and ensure employees use legally licensed software. Define appropriate IT use. Establish and enforce proper use of company technology. Protect data with systems. Limit data access to authorized employees only. Install and maintain firewalls. Use security systems to block unauthorized access and harmful content. Compliance in the digital age. Compliance. Following company policies, laws, and regulation like consequences of non-compliance. Failure to comply can result in fines, lawsuits, or criminal and civil penalties. Managing compliance. Organization use compliance software, consultants, and chief compliance officers to handle complex regulations. The role of audit committees. Financial oversight. Ensure the accuracy and integrity of financial reports and internal controls. Regulatory compliance. Monitor the organization's compliance with laws and regulations. Auditor performance. Evaluate the qualification, independence, and performance of internal and external auditors. Overall role. Help ensure IT and organization follow ethical standards and legal requirements.